Do you want to know how amazing people connect? Well, you're in the right place. Welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie.
Thanks for connecting. And if you like what you hear, please share.
Big thank you to our sponsors today, Davis Home Inspection for all your home inspection needs. Call Davis, and Southpaw's Perfect Pizza in Albany, Oregon. Great pizza and community feel at Southpaw's. Good morning, everybody, or whatever time it is where you are. Welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie. It's another great episode with amazing people that connect. And I am so excited today to have my guest, Holly Jackson. She's a holistic business coach, but all around, she is just a wonderful person. And I have got to know her over the past several months. Great individual, and can do so many great things for you. And so we're going to talk to her. But first, wanted to remind you that I am Russ Hedge. I am an inspiration specialist. I'm a coach, motivational speaker. I love to connect with people, and you can easily connect with me at russhedge.com. That's russhedge.com. I keep it simple. On there is all the connections to my social media, which I love social media, and my email, my phone number, anything you need. So go to russhedge.com today. Also, as you know, I am the author of Befuddled, Live the Life You Choose, a great book to inspire and encourage you to live the life you choose. You can pick that up at Amazon or all online booksellers. And if you're in the Oregon and Southwest Washington area, you can actually pick it up at local bookstores. So appreciate that today. Also, just want to remind you, please, if you're watching today, share this show. Get out there, tell your friends about the amazing people that you get to see on Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie, every Monday and Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's the time of our show, every Monday and Thursday. So looking forward to my guest today. And without any further ado, we're just going to jump right into it. And I'm going to say hi. Here she comes. Hello, Holly.
Hi, Russ. Good to see you. Happy first day of April, or April Fool's Day.
There you go. So she and I were joking when we scheduled the show. I said, no, it's really true. I'm really scheduling you on that day. It's not an April Fool's joke. It's really April 1st. So yeah, I am so glad to have you on today. How's your week been?
It's been a really good week, but really interesting, kind of a roller coaster, some adulting, challenging moments, but also some really great moments. How about you?
It's been fantastic. Thank you. I have just had a really busy week as well. Got a lot done. It's been awesome. And I get to talk with amazing people like you and learn and glean from what everybody is doing out there. So why don't you start off by just telling everybody a little bit about Holly and what you're up to?
Sure. Yeah. So my name's Holly Jean Jackson. I'm a holistic business coach, and I work with entrepreneurs and small business owners on how to start, build, and scale their business. And the reason I'm a holistic business coach is not that I just specialize working with people in wellness sectors. I work across lots of industries, but I believe that we all deserve the life of our dreams and the business of our dreams. And that means getting clear on the things that are causing us stress and removing those barriers so we have the energy to build that life and business. That means getting hyper focused on our life priorities so we're building the right business for our lifestyle. And then, of course, there's all the fun business things that, like Russ was saying, we need to glean from others of expertise and how we can rock it in business.
Yeah, I think that building a business based on your life priorities that you just brought up, I think that is so important. I think a lot of times people are, they are doing what they think others think they should be doing, or what people around them, their family, whatever, instead of actually focusing in on their own purpose and priorities. And I think that's so important how you kind of nail down on that.
Yeah, it's so interesting. So many times I'll be working with a new client or we'll be further along and they're not getting the outcomes that we would expect, or they're constantly having really substantial health challenges. And when we really dial this back and, take a step back and really dig deep, it turns out that they're building something that is really based on somebody else's dream, somebody else's definition of success, and it's not aligned to what they ultimately want and desire for their life and for their business. And so they're doing a disservice to themselves and to their clients in doing that.
Yeah, I think that is so true. I think that when we are not focused in on, a lot of people don't really take an introspective look at themselves. What are my talents and what are my dreams and what are my goals and what do I really want to do with my life? What is my real why and my purpose and why I'm moving forward? And then build their business and scale it around that, like you're talking about. Because I think so often we have this picture of what we should be instead of what we really are. And I think people nowadays are getting back to really a more look of being more authentic and focused on what they should be doing, right? And how they can really help others. And yeah, you're awesome at that.
Oh, thank you. I mean, Russ, you've been on my show and people say that I ask some of the most interesting, introspective questions. And as you know, one of those questions is, what's the legacy you wish to leave behind? And another one is, how do you define success? And for a lot of people, they stumble on responding to these questions because they've never actually stopped, reflected, and defined those things for themselves. So many times it's what their parent, a mentor, their boss has defined for success and the legacy they want to leave behind. So it's really important that we define that so that we make sure things are aligned and we're taking the right steps in the right order.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell us, what is your legacy you want to leave and how do you define success?
The legacy that I want to leave behind is helping future generations build confidence, define success for themselves, and define what the legacy they wish to leave behind is at a very young age, so that they're not wasting time, they're not getting stressed out and having major health challenges, and they're creating amazing leadership in the world and creating amazing businesses that are solving problems that we all struggle with. And for me, success is taking tangible action every single day, making sure that my body is healthy and happy, that I'm showing up with consistent energy, that I'm inspiring somebody else every single day, making somebody else smile, and getting that feedback that I'm showing up from a stance of love instead of letting fear get in the way, which sounds simple, but it's really not that simple.
Well, and I think that that you nailed it on a couple key points, and that is taking care of yourself, making sure you're healthy, making sure that you've got yourself aligned with the direction you're heading. It's important because we don't want to waste time. Like you said, every day is precious. Every moment we're given is precious. I was at a celebration of life service yesterday for a young man. And it was makes you take stock in your life. He was around the age of my children, and it makes you take stock of how precious your family is, how precious life is, and you need to have that in right alignment and order in order to do good things with your business or anything else in your life. If you don't have your personal life together and all those things happening, it makes everything else a little shaky, right?
Yeah, that is so true. So many times I'll be working with a client and they are having trouble with sales conversions and signing on clients. They have leads, but they're not converting to sales. And when we really step back and look at this, it's oftentimes that something in their personal life is really derailing them. And that shows up because it shocks our confidence in our system, especially if something's happening in your love life or in your family life that is got you a little off kilter and you're off balance. So once we get that right and back in alignment, everything kind of magically falls back into place. You still take action, obviously, but that really, really matters. And back to what you're saying about how precious life is. It's so interesting to me. People will be diagnosed with a major health thing, or in my case, I had a really major back surgery, And I lost a couple years of just dealing with so much chronic pain. And once you finally break free from that, it gives you this really different stance on life and how precious every single day is. That's why interviewing people like you and Trav Bell, the bucket list guy, it's such a great reminder and a breath of fresh air in terms of how key it is to show up every single day with excitement, inspiration, and this newfound energy of what can we do today that's going to be really exciting and change the world.
Well, and don't you think that if you don't show up with that, if you're not showing up with energy and excitement, there's probably something else going on. I mean, that's a key indicator that, yeah, maybe something else isn't quite in alignment, and maybe I need to take stock and refocus on where I am. There's times every day where I will pause and stop, and I will refocus myself because I feel like I'm getting a little off track, starting to do things and reacting instead of, I'm big on being an actor, not a reactor. And so I get into this, we all get into this reacting mode to things. And so I start to settle myself. And when you stay settled and focused and intentional, everything else falls in line because you're building it on really a solid foundation then.
Absolutely. Anytime you're in a stance of reactivity, there's nothing good coming from that. Typically, reactivity means that we're in a stance of fear, which shows up as anger, worry, stress, not breathing, or breathing up here, like our shoulders are really tight and high, versus, like you were saying, an actor where you're balanced, you're in the present moment, you're grounded, you're in a stance more of love, and you're able to serve people because you're thinking with clarity, you're showing up with purpose, you're aware of your legacy. So you're offering the best advice based on the wisdom you have in that moment versus reacting based on past stuff that's kind of triggering you and putting you off balance.
Yeah, and I think it's important. I think in our line of business, people know if we're settled, if we are really aligned and centered on what we're doing, and if we're comfortable. I was listening to John Maxwell yesterday on a podcast and was talking about, people know if you're comfortable and you're really in alignment with your own mindset, your own thinking, or if you're trying to be something you're not, because it's the way you come across to people. I think I've always tried to be, I work hard at just trying to be me and just come across. Sometimes I'm goofy and sometimes I'm a little silly, but you know what? That's just me. And I try to, especially when I'm speaking and talking to people, there's been times when people have wanted me to do this, do that, do this. And a lot of times I've had to say no, because, you try that sometimes and then you're trying to be somebody else. You're not actually being yourself, even if it's not a bad thing. It's just kind of stepping outside of yourself. So I think that's so important to stay within ourselves, to understand our lane and what we're doing, and to really stay focused on our path.
Yeah, that's a really good point. But I would also say that sometimes when we are showing up authentically as ourselves, we're raw. There are these moments where we're expanding ourselves into the next best version. Because obviously, when we're in the business of growth, we're constantly growing personally. And so we're never stagnant. We're never the same. And so there are moments where I'm being authentic. I'm definitely aligned, but I'm also uncomfortable because I'm growing into that next version of Holly 2.0. And so sometimes it can be really helpful to have trusted partners, people in your life, express what they're seeing in you as you're growing and changing so that you can start to get that feedback of what that looks like and sounds like. Because sometimes we're so in our head that we don't see how amazing we are and how that magic is starting to show up as we transform into that next version of ourselves.
Yeah, no, you're completely correct with that. I agree 100%. And, that's a different type of uncomfortableness because I agree. We have to be growing and moving. If we're not growing, we're just becoming stagnant and dying. I mean, we've got to be becoming a better person all the time, moving forward, trying new things. And you're right. There's a certain amount of uncomfortable in that, but I think it's different because people know that we're really expanding and you're still really passionate about what you do as you go. Because if you're in alignment with yourself, you're going to be passionate even when you're a little bit uncomfortable. But you're right. We got to constantly be growing. This is why I listen to smart people like you, because it always reminds me of these things.
Yeah, it's just interesting. I did a video yesterday that I posted that just kind of came to me intuitively around discomfort and getting comfortable with discomfort. And so For me personally, I'm getting comfortable with discomfort. I'm really excited because my physical therapist has approved me for trying things like rock climbing and handstands. And with 10 levels of my spine fused, that's really exciting, but it's scary. So I'm challenging myself personally, and then professionally, I'm constant. If you knew half of the things I'm doing with my business coach and my life coach, and even in my health practice, it's incredible. Like, I've never transformed this much, and it just exponentially grows every single day, which is exciting. But I think it takes several years to start getting more comfortable with that discomfort of growing as a person.
Yeah, I think so too. Well, I think you're doing an awesome job, and I wish you had more energy and passion about what you do. Um, so I know people are going to want to know more about you, how to get in touch with you, how to work with you. So give us your contact information. How do people contact Holly?
Sure. And by the way, my nickname is Jetpack Russ. So if I had more energy, I don't even know what that would look like. It would be like, I don't know, an astronaut or something. So how you can get a hold of me, my website is hollyjeanjackson.com. You can email me at holly@hollyjeanjackson.com. And my podcast that Russ has been on, and he'll have an episode releasing in the future months here, is Inspiration Contagion. That's on all of the major podcast outlets out there.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I tell you, I appreciate you so much. You have such great information, such great energy. And I'm so thankful that you came on today and were my guest. And I know people are going to want to get in touch with you. So we'll make sure and link to those contact points in the show notes. And thank you again. We're going to continue this conversation, continue to talk, and I appreciate your friendship.
You too. Thank you so much, Russ. You're such an amazing connector.
Thank you. Okay, well, hang tight. I'm going to send you off to the green room. Hello, everybody. Once again, thank you. Oh, my goodness. What a great episode. You know, if you did not gain value from Holly today, you must have been sleeping, because she is such a bundle of energy and great information. So make sure and connect with her, and we'll make sure and get those that information in the show notes. And I want to thank you all so much again for coming and spending your time with us today. You know, whether you're watching this live or on replay, I understand a lot of times it's hard to watch live, and people are watching on replay all the time, and that's great. Put hashtag replay, make comments, share with your friends, let everybody know about Marketing with Russ. Remember, it's every Monday, Thursday, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Love to see you. Love this live format. So until we see you again, have an awesome day and an awesome life. We'll talk to you soon. All right. Bye, everybody.
Thanks for joining us for this week's episode of Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie. Be sure to subscribe in your favorite podcast app so that you don't miss a single episode. Have an amazing day.